what are some of the biggest barriers preventing locums to perm conversions in organizations?
Yeah, I think, for one, whether we want to admit it or not, there's a potential stigma from a qualitative perspective with locums. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it's there. In addition, most locums have made the choice to be locums specifically because of the lifestyle that it preserves. Being able to, in essence, define how much throughout the year you can work from a quality of lifestyle perspective is, I think, extremely important to our locums pool. So, that coupled with, ultimately also some of our locums dovetailing on that lifestyle approach, really do want to go visit and sample multiple facilities. I think they're also viewing that opportunity and that ability to find almost the Goldilocks zone for if and when they do come to the point where they do want to set down roots and actually establish permanently at some location.
Yeah, it speaks to the flexibility of the market as well. I have the ability to move around. I have the ability to check what works for me, what's there, what might work for my family, et cetera. And before I get to the main part of this question, Phil, I just wanted to hear, is this something that you're seeing as well in terms of just the preference from folks? Hey, I'd love to, I want to try this, but then maybe I'll go somewhere else, but I might consider you again then in the future.
Yeah, and I think geographically, we're the perfect example in that we're located in Western New York. And so we're a very popular destination in the summertime. This is something you might see locums that want to come and visit here, but that don't want to work here year round in the thick of winter. Organizationally, what we often see is there's a perceived difference in compensation as well. When we approach a provider, they're used to, working as a 1099 provider, handling their own tax and finance. And even if we put it on paper and show them the W-2 comparison, and a lot of times it's closer than you might think, that losing that flexibility or freedom for the provider is a barrier. And to dovetail on some of the other comments, I think there is also some preference with the locums that they do become somewhat either skill set specific, subspecialty specific. They may not want to take call, and I think locums affords people opportunities to sort of custom tailor their job. And I like sort of the earlier conversation of how do we reimagine this as an employer to create the synergy of layering these different products together so that maybe we can convert somebody who has these more specific preferences and incorporate them into our own daily operations.
Yeah, absolutely. Lance, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. What are some of those barriers that you're seeing that are fairly prominent?
Sure. Additionally, I would say 12 years experience in the industry, there's always been somewhat of a bias in crossing each side of the fence, and it's more related to longevity of employment, right? Everybody has the expectation that someone who's worked locums for 5 or 10 years or most of their career probably enjoys traveling and, experiencing different places, but everybody's lifestyle is different. Everybody's at different points of their life. And I've talked to many candidates over the years who, I've traveled doing locums for 5 or 10 years and I'm just ready to settle down. But I think especially when there's, agency involvement, there's always that question of longevity of employment and will this individual remain long-term or is this going to be more short-term?